international forecaster. Good afternoon, Bob.
Well, good afternoon, and I am here.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
And if you remember on Monday, I said that on Wednesday the market would probably, in gold and silver, rally. And that's what happened. And I'm going to have to top your figures. And they are 15.29.20, up 25.70. And these are hot, these are real outside month, heavy month trading.
What month?
In the case of gold, it's June, 15.29.20, up 25.70. And this, of course, is changing all the time. 48.05, up 2.99 on silver. There goes gold up 24.80 and silver up 2.82. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it is.
But the point is this, and I told you on the program on Monday, the reason the stock market was going up is the insiders who make the inside information told the Fed, because they own it, this is the way it's going to be. And you're going to continue and need to expand the market with money and credit. And you're going to say that you're going to do that from the money that you already have. When, in fact, that's not going to be the case. Because they don't have anybody to sell to. Didn't anybody think about that? The Fed is buying 83% of that paper right now, whether it's Treasury or agency. So there is nobody to sell to. So they've got to make new money and credit digitally. And that's what they're going to do. And everybody behind the scenes who was in the know, the Illuminati, they ran the market up from 11,800 to 12,600 and something today because they knew, well, almost 12,700, because they make the rules. Now, the people who are involved here decided, well, silver's up near the old high, gold is making new highs, let's trash it for a few days. Besides, option expiration is coming, and I'm sure we can get the cooperation of all the banks to attack gold and silver. It's easy. So they did. The minute they stopped, at the end of yesterday, the whole thing turned around and went straight up. Now what's going to happen? As I said before, the old high, 48-something, will be tested again. And it may or may not be broken. I think it'll be broken. I think they'll go to 55 or 60, and HSBC and JPM are going to have to make a decision. We can't keep on losing these horrid amounts of money. And they're going to have to default in some way. And I laid out on Monday the 3 different ways that they could default. And it is going to happen. And gold is going to 16 to 1650. And if they don't default between 55 and 60, silver will keep right on going. And the problem will get bigger and bigger. And gold will keep right on going. And even after they say, yes, what we're going to do now is default, and they'll tell you the method that they want to use. And silver will jump another $20 or $30, and gold will jump another $200 or $300. And this is so easy to call. And there almost are no other newsletter writers talking in this vein. There's just a handful. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're having a good day. Everybody's making money. I've received every day 5 or 10 emails from people telling me how wonderful they've done. In the last 4 or 5 days, I've got about 50. And the amounts of money that people have made are incalculable. One person made $30 million. Incidentally, the dollar's down 0.51 at 73.32, and that is bad. This thing's going to get out and test 71.18. And 650,000 and all kinds of amounts. Mm-hmm. And so I'm very happy about that and keep right on doing it. Because this game is nowhere near over. And we've been right all the time. So listen, I got 5 questions here today. We got to get started on them early because I think Melody says several as well. And silver is up 290 right now. Doesn't the Fed have to continue printing money out of thin air? Otherwise, it all collapses and their heads are chopped off for treason. And the answer is yes. This came from Michael, who's an attorney, incidentally. Number 2, wasn't that evident by lying Ben's squeaking and shaking voice? Well, of course. He's not psychologically fit to be a liar in public. Maybe in private, but not in public. Anyway, he was scared to death. Okay, next question. As May and summer approaches, would you please comment on the seasonality of demand and pricing for gold and for silver? Demand tied to Western and to Indian holidays, wedding seasons. Well, look, historically, those events usually happen in the fall, so I'll leave them out. Summer isn't going to make any difference this year. The world's upside down. We got a president under fire because nobody believes his birth certificate, except people who are Pollyannish. We have a government that wants to go into Libya and steal everything they've got. Kind of unbelievable that Americans will sit around and not say anything about the people who run government being criminals, thieves. It's unbelievable. You want somebody's oil and water aquifers and foreign funds and gold and central bank, and you just go and take it. If they're going to do that, what is there to keep them from going into your bank account and taking all the money? Or saying, Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones, you got 4 children. We only think you should have 2. So you pick the 2 you want to keep, and we're going to take the other 2 and train them for government service. The government can do anything it wants unless you overthrow it. Remember that. And that's where this is all headed. Getting back to gold and the seasonality, it's not going to work this year. It's going to do what it's going to do because the world's in serious trouble. So forget seasonality. Of course, it is impossible to predict the future with 100% certainty, and you're right. We're only right 98% of the time. The rest of the letter writers, 30, 35%. Terrific. But do you think silver will follow gold in a seasonal pattern? And the answer is no. And I thank you again for writing, Rob. And the next one, I'm not going to take that one. It's too long. As you know, gold and silver shares are being manipulated by our government, and to a greater extent, gold and silver bullion prices. Do you think one of the reasons for this is to get the holders of the gold and silver and the shares in despair, get them to sell, and run over there and buy GLD and SLV? before the big scandal in the ETFs hits the fan? And the answer is absolutely yes. And thank you, Fred, for sending that. And I do have two left, but I'm only going to give you one. And this one, I am a loyal listener. And IF subscriber. Oh, that's terrific. A customer of Melodies. Oh, boy. As well as a fellow Transylvanian. No, she said Pennsylvanian. I could not help but to email concerning Bob's comment that those who bought silver at the high in 1980 were all dead. I'm sorry, but I'm very much alive. And I was a young graduate student at USC. Incidentally, that stands for the University of Spoiled Children. I lived in Southern California for 36 years. Anya, that's her name. Anyway, she was a port teaching assistant and head research assistant at the time, who also worked to the wee hours of the night as a bookkeeper for a small business. I literally lived on potatoes and pasta to save money to buy precious metals. Luckily, I was young and burned up all those calories. Anyway, I did not sell. However, I did lose my lifetime savings at that time of $5,000 on a company called Bullion Reserve of North America in Beverly Hills. Please tell Bob, as I believe he was in California at the time. I am sure he remembers this. I sure do. And Jonathan in Englewood, he went to jail. Keep up the great work, both of you. And I wish I knew where Bob lived, because I would love to move there also. It snowed here last week. Anyway, it wasn't a question. It was a bit of history, and we love you very much for sending it, Anna, and for being so loyal and hanging in there all these years. Gee, you must be 35 by now.
Yes.
Let's go, baby.
Where are we going?
You're going to do your questions.
Oh, well, you pretty
Because we're going to get more of these as the program goes on, because the market's hot and people have lots of questions when the market's that way.
Well, pretty much you had the ones that I had. The Fed says it's going to stop QE2, and the dollar goes down. If he would have said they were going to continue to print money, then the dollar would have still went down. Looks like they are at the end of this thing with the dollar. What is he missing?
Dollar's going down. Gold and silver going up. Can you imagine silver going up almost $3 in one day?
No.
But I predicted that you would see days of $1 and $2 and $3 moves in silver, and $20 to $50, $200 to $50, $20 to $50 moves in the gold market, and later, when prices were much higher, $200 or $300 or $400 moves in a day. This market is not going down. And that's why I said that if they have any sense at JPM and HSBC, they better be thinking seriously about capitulation. Because we know what's going to happen. The Fed's going to take down the debt, and they're going to pay it over the next 50 years. And of course, they're not going to pay it at all because they own the Fed. I mean, that's the way these things work. You have to understand history, and you must understand the criminal mind. And when you got that down, the rest is a walk in the park. I mean, how do you think I can be so accurate? Because I did my homework. Gosh, the euro was up 137 today at 147.82. Now, the euro is on the edge of collapse. next week, maybe this week, the IMF and the European Central Bank, the Eurozone, is meeting in Athens because the Greeks didn't cut enough. And they're going to try to get them to collateralize everything with the whole country so the bankers can take the whole country over. And it's not going to happen. And what is going to happen is default. The question is, will it be 60 cents on the dollar that they'll have to pay, or 50, or 33? I don't know. But the average Greek says, we're not going to pay anything. You know why? Because our broadcasts are going to Greece. And we're having a big effect on the public in Greece. I know. You should see my emails. I mean, you'd think Greece was a subsidiary of the International Forecaster or something. In fact, I was answering questions for someone today who's a subscriber in Macedonia. I hope you all know where it is. It's a little bit north of Greece. But this shows you the effect and impact the truth is having all over the world. We're breathing down their necks, and they don't know what to do. They're terrified. And they should be. They're bad people who've done bad things to other people. They deserve to be in jail indefinitely. And all of their wealth taken away from them and given to the people through the federal government or to pay down the debt or whatever. Melody?
This morning I saw Ron Paul was on. He's actually going to be on tomorrow also on CNBC. And, I believe they were trying to, foil him as an idiot, talking about gold 3,000. And he approached it very nicely, and he says, just the amount of printing that they're doing, there isn't anything else that they can do. That alone will push the price of gold to limits that it doesn't even weigh discussing because the prices will be so high, and it's not going to change. He says, so what if it even drops $200? He says it's meaningless. And that's what people have to realize. What's going on, no matter what happens on a day-to-day, it's meaningless because the long-term future for everything is just, it will play out. And certainly the best way to preserve your ability to protect your purchasing power is through gold and silver. And we've had some changes, Bob, on right before the program, 1-ounce silver rounds. My major buyers stopped selling them. I might have another outlet I'm going to be checking on tomorrow. They were able to sell them to me last week when my buyer couldn't find them, so we'll check on that tomorrow. Silver Eagles, you're still looking at about a 3 to 4 week delay. But that's maximum. It shouldn't take any longer than that for delivery. And really 90% bags, they're still available. Bars, again, we're not locking in prices on any size bars, 110 or 5 or 1s. So mainly 90% in Silver Eagles for your silver purchases. Morgan dollars, we quit that special yesterday, and it's funny, Bob, because I run specials, and even the day after, when I did that on Monday, I ran it through till, I believe it was yesterday afternoon, and I stopped the special, and today I'm still getting calls for it. So you need to take advantage of the specials when we announce them, because the markets are changing too rapidly, and we just can't carry it on, through the week like we used to. So take advantage of it when we give the special on the program. And it shouldn't take any.
Well, today is a good example. $3 almost on silver. I mean, that's really a large jump, and $24, $5, $6 on gold. And I thought they were going up, but I really didn't think in one day they were going to go up that much.
What?
Right?
Yeah, but you know what? They turned around at about, they just zipped about 2 o'clock because they were just meandering all day long. And then like 2 o'clock, it was just, and I don't know what time I thought he made his announcements earlier than that, other than his announcement that they weren't going to change the rate or anything like that. I just couldn't imagine that it would make it that much of a difference.
Well, I think it was pent up, and I think that they didn't have the info in the commodities area, which includes gold and silver on the COMEX. They didn't have that inside created information that the market had for those players who created that inside information. And when, the regular market went up, well, I'm sure that others jumped on because they saw JPM and Goldman and Citi and HSBC and Deutsche Bank. These are connected entities. And when they saw them in the pits or wherever electronically buying big time, they knew something was up. And I predicted this right down to the last note. Now, next week are we going to see $55, $60? The answer, I hope, is yes.
Hold on, Bob. We're going to break, and we'll be right back.
You always won every time you placed a bet. You're still damn good. No one's gotten to you yet.
Years ahead of the dominant media, FirstAmendmentRadio.com and FirstAmendmentRadio.net, around the world and on satellite.
Record budget deficits, bankruptcies galore, and the U.S. dollar is at an all-time low. With today's gloomy economic outlook, safe investments are often hard to find. For over a decade, Melody Cedarstrom at Discount Gold and Silver Trading Company has been helping people secure their future by investing in the precious metals. Melody has the honesty, integrity, and experience that is often lacking in the precious metals business. Let her put it to work for you. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188.
Hi, Nicholas here. I used to lug those big jugs to the market to fill with water from those coin-operated filter machines, 25 cents a gallon or 5 gallons for $1. I used to. Then I got the big Berkey. Now I save my back and hundreds of dollars too. I was paying $600 for the same 3,000 gallons of water that a pair of black Berkey filters will provide from my own tap for only $99. This means that your Berkey water system will entirely pay for itself with only 1,500 gallons of use. And then you will still have 1,500 gallons left before you need to replace the filters. Do the math. Stop throwing your money away on bottled water and filter dispensers that may or may not be delivering as promised. For a limited time, First Amendment Radio is offering 10% off on the most popular Berkey water systems. Visit the shopping page at FirstAmendmentRadio.com or call us at 559-781-3773 for more information. Leave your name and address and we'll send you this special offer. Do it now. First Amendment Radio is an authorized distributor of Berkey products.
The Greatest Prophecy DVD from Cross the Border Productions. Embrace the little-known but greatest prophecy given by the great high priest. The pre-incarnate Messiah reveals God's once secret plan for mankind. Believe it. Behold, the end times in Daniel chapter 2, because
the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
It is the key to prophecy future. Comprehend the 7-year Great Tribulation deception. Be not deceived. Understand the great prophecy delusion, because
if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Be forewarned. America in prophecy, exposed for all to see. The mark of the beast. No, it's not a biochip. A much better and more secure technology is already here, and you are already using it. 2 copies, one for you and one for you to give away when you send a support donation of $25 to First Amendment Radio. Use the chip-in event on our website or send $25 cash to First Amendment Radio, 139 East Tulare Avenue, Tulare, California, 93274. Make copies and give them away. Send $25 cash for 2 copies of the Greatest Prophecy DVD. That's First Amendment Radio, 139 East Tulare Avenue, Tulare, Tulare, California, 93274. A wise man is forewarned and prepares for the time to come. The Greatest Prophecy DVD.
Hear it first on FirstAmendmentRadio.com and FirstAmendmentRadio.net, around the world and on satellite.
The only risk that you would take, the only loss you could forsake, the only bluff you couldn't play, and the still same.
And thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're listening to Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. Our telephone number is 1-800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coin needs here at Discount Gold and Silver. For your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, give us a call on our 800 number, and Bob, it's your turn to tell us about the International Forecaster.
You sure?
Well, you don't have to. But I know you want to.
You told me I did.
But I know you want to.
Okay, gold's up $24.30. Silver's up $2.99. The International Forecaster is about business, finance, economics, social, and political issues all over the world. We publish on Wednesday and Saturday by email, runs around 40 pages each time, and we have a hard copy that goes out twice a month for those who are not on the Internet. And we like to think that everything that you need to know every week is in that publication. You can get a free introductory copy by going to theinternationalforecaster.com. Theinternational, FORECASTER.com. You could also go to www.intforecaster.com. intforecaster.com. If you have a question and we answer everybody, or if you'd like a copy, or if you'd like our latest recommendations on gold and silver shares, email us at Bob, B-O-B, at intforecaster.com. That's Bob at intforecaster.com. If you'd like to call in toll free,
1-800. I was trying to work on a special. 1-800.
I could hear you typing.
1-800. Can you really?
Naughty girl.
1-800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster. That's 800-375-4188. And yes, I was just looking at my price list, and you know what? It's interesting to see these prices. We all know they hit lows as we, they announced QE2 back in, September, October. And, but, people don't buy when things are low. They only want to go into something that's going up. And, folks, buy low, sell high. That's what it's all about. And you want to buy on something that lags in markets. But yet they always take their position. They always take their place. As the pendulum swings one way, it always comes back. 64, let's see, a week ago on April 20th, you had Mint State 64, $20 St. Gaudens, and spot was $15.04. So we have spot up $20, and in a week they're up $70. So sure, they're still off their highs, but I mean that's the type of gains. It doesn't take too many of those $70 gains to surpass their highs and to beat what bullion has done in the past. So again, you have a coin that you increase, that gives you the ability to increase the number of ounces